We're going to start the class now. Last time we stopped at appeal to force. We're studying fallacies in logic. और last time जो हमने किया था वो था 4-5 हमने पढ़ ली from the fallacies of relevance. Just to go through them, we had the appeal to emotion. When you appeal to emotion, we had the red herring. Red herring actually एक मछली को बोलते हैं. तो ये एक किस्म का है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल किसी ने सड़क पे मछली फेंक दी just to distract. It's like an idiom that's used. So something that is that is used to mislead or distract the argument. Straw man भी वैसा ही हुआ. आपने घास का कोई एक आदमी जैसा बनाया और उसको फिर आपने तितर बितर किया. इन द सेंस आपने अपने अपोनेंट की आर्ग्यूमेंट को कुछ अलग ही शेप दे दी और फिर उसको खत्म किया. आपने उसकी एक्चुअल आर्ग्यूमेंट को एड्रेस किया ही नहीं. आपने कुछ और ही उसको एक शेप देकर उसको फिर डिस्ट्रॉय करने की, रिफ्यूट करने की कोशिश की, जो कि मोस्टली व्हेनेवर वी आर्ग्यू वी यूजुअली डू दिस. So we can say many a times we feel कि ये तो मैंने कहा ही नहीं था, आप तो बात को यहाँ से वहां ले रहे हो. That's mostly straw man. So arguments against the person. So when you attack the character of the person, that will be called an ad hominem. ठीक है, ad hominem. You're attacking the character of the person. You say आप argument को address नहीं कर रहे हो, आप इंसान को ही attack कर रहे हो. और आप बोल रहे हो कि भाई इसका argument doesn't make sense because he or she is XYZ and they're liars or they cannot be trusted and this and that. एंड अपील टू फोर्स भी अपील टू इमोशन जैसा है. जब आप अथॉरिटी को अपील कर रहे हो कि आप बोल रहे हो, अपनी आप कोई आर्ग्यूमेंट दे रहे हो, बट यू आर ट्राइंग टू से दैट यू हैव टू लिसन टू मी और दिस आर्ग्यूमेंट वर्क्स बिकॉज इफ यू डोंट लिसन टू मी यू आर गोइंग टू फेस द कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस. सो उस वक्त आई एम ट्राइंग टू फोर्स यू इनटू समथिंग. मैं आपको कोई आर्ग्यूमेंट नहीं दे रही हूँ जो कि रैशनल या लॉजिकल है, मैं आपको डरा रही हूँ या धमका रही हूँ. सो अपील टू फोर्स इज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक अ धमकी. It's almost like darana, dhamkana. Now, next is in the fallacies of relevance. आप लिखेंगे अपने notebook में. Please just try to think it's as if you're in class. So have your notebooks and your pens there and try to write. I'll share this document with you also, inshallah. So missing the point is also one of the fallacies of relevance. आप ये मतलब if you get a question, if you get a detailed question, तब तो आपको सब लिखना है. If you get a smaller question, then you can mention a few. But it's good to know all of these by the name. Even if you don't know, let's say the Latin जो इसका है, ignoratio elenchi. Let's say आपको याद ना रहे, मगर missing the point याद रहना चाहिए. So it's diverting attention from the real point at issue. It's arguing beside the point. तो आप point पर नहीं आप argue कर रहे हो, आप किसी और चीज पर उसको एक अलग ही मोड़ दे रहे हो. This applies to many kinds of arguments where the conclusion does not follow from the premises. Example, the object of war is peace. Therefore, soldiers are the best peacemakers. Now, look at that kind of an argument. Doesn't make sense because the conclusion does not follow from the premises. The object of war is peace. Therefore, soldiers are the best peacemakers. That's not true. Soldiers are not the best peacemakers, and the object of war is not peace most of the time. The war is the opposite of peace. So even if it is assumed that the object of war is peace, let's say for argument's sake, hum bolenge that the object of war is peace. Still, it does not imply that soldiers are the best peacemakers. Absolutely. So मतलब we are missing the point. ये तो है ही नहीं point क्या soldiers peacemakers हैं या नहीं है. Point है कि object of war क्या है, peace है या नहीं है. So even if, let's say, for the sake of argument, we will accept, okay, the object of war is peace, then also we cannot miss the point here and say, भाई, जो soldiers हैं, जो लोगों को मार रहे हैं, वो best peacemakers हैं. वो तो बनता ही नहीं है. वो तो है ही नहीं, literally. So this is a good example of missing the point. Okay. So as you can see, you may get confused. Sometimes missing the point does look like red herring. है ना? It does look like थोड़ा सा जैसे as if you're being distracted from the argument. So there is an overlap. मगर as long as you remember their names and you remember how these fallacies work. In a sense, every fallacy is an ignoratio elenchi because there is a gap between the premises and the conclusion. तो ये कह रहे हैं मतलब many a times you'll be confused that ये वाली fallacy तो हर जगह आ रही है. ऐसा ही तो होता है यूजुअली whenever we have a fallacy ऐसी ही किस्म की होती है वो we are missing the point. एक गलत आर्ग्यूमेंट को how do we know that an argument is invalid when the premises when the conclusion does not follow from the premises. ये हमने पहले भी पढ़ा था मतलब conclusion और premises में जोड़ नहीं बन रहा है. तो मगर वो तो हर एक इनवैलिड आर्ग्यूमेंट में वैसा ही होगा. तो आर वी ट्राइंग टू से एवरी इनवैलिड आर्ग्यूमेंट इज मिसिंग द पॉइंट? ये वाली फैलेसी है इग्नोराशियो एलेंची वाली. सो people can assume that, and the best thing right now is to just understand that this is a kind of a fallacy. Okay, so then seventh one is argument from ignorance. Argument from ignorance is taking advantage of the ignorance of the opponent. Example, there is neither heaven nor hell because no one has seen it, right? Or ghosts do not exist because no one has proved its existence so far. So if a proposition has not been disproved, can we conclude that it is true? If we say yes, then we are arguing from the supposed absence of disproof to the presence of proof. But for example, आपके पास कोई argument है and it hasn't been proved as yet. So can we say that it has been disproved? No, we can't really say that it has been disproved. क्योंकि absence of proof doesn't mean that there is no proof. अभी हमको मिला नहीं है proof. बाद में maybe मिल सकता है. So abhi hame ignorance hai about the issue. Magar we cannot say that just because we don't have proof right now that it will not be proved later. Okay? So this is the argument from ignorance. So, or if some proposition has not been proved true, then can we conclude that it is false? If we can, then we are arguing from the absence of disproof to the presence of proof. Matlab, agar we have a proposition, it has not been proved true, then can we say that it is false? If we say that yes, it's false because it has not been proved true, it is false. Hum kahenge if it is false just because एक absence of disproof है, उसमें हम क्या कह रहे हैं? We are actually arguing from the basically we are taking our argument from the absence of the proof. So that is not, that is not considered a logically sound thing to do. Just because you have an absence of proof does not mean that there is a presence of disproof. These are two things: absence of proof and presence of disproof. तो मेरे पास अभी प्रूफ नहीं है इसके लिए, इस proposition के लिए कि ghost होते हैं. Let's say there are ghosts. I don't have a proof. But because I don't have a proof, does that mean that there is no proof? No, these are not two same things. I don't have a proof, but it doesn't mean that there is no proof. It could be that we do find proof. So this is argument from ignorance. Absence of disproof to the present. Now, इसको उल्टा भी पढ़ सकते हैं. Since no one has disproved a supernatural being, the supernatural being exists. So इसको उल्टा भी कर सकते हैं. Now, there are things that are not proven 100%. So does that mean that that exists? Or does that mean that that does not exist? मगर ये रहेगा एक ऐसी जगह में that we can't say that it exists, we can't say that it doesn't exist, because we will say we don't know, right? We will say we don't know. Now, moving on. Both these inferences are defective, for ignorance or absence of evidence is taken as evidence for the conclusion. Unfortunately, our daily life is sprinkled with this fallacy. मतलब ये हम use तो करते हैं हर वक्त. ये fallacy आप हमेशा in your life you will use it, I will use it. So we are not trying to say that our entire life is fallacious. But because we do use it in our regular life. All of these fallacies sometimes we do, because that's how human beings think. अगर मेरे पास proof कोई नहीं होगा, for example, किसी को कोर्ट में क्या होता है? कोर्ट में you actually बाइज्जत बरी किया जाए बोलते हैं. किसको बरी किया जाए? जिसके against कोई proof ना मिले. So that means the courts do use this fallacy. Our entire justice system uses this. Magar we are not studying justice, we are not studying law, we are studying logic. So in logic, when we want to think rationally, we will say, for example, ये आपको कहाँ best application ये use होगी in the arguments of God. So when you study philosophy of religion in your masters, वहाँ ये use होगा openly ये वाली fallacy कि जो atheists कहते हैं we don't have a proof for the existence of God, therefore there is no God. Then the theists जो believe करते हैं in God will use this as being a fallacy. They will say you're using a fallacy. Just because we don't have empirical proof that there is no God does not mean that there is no proof that there is no God. Absence of proof does not mean presence of disproof. Okay, so this is argument from ignorance. So science में, for example, we will use this fallacy. वहाँ हम ये यूज नहीं करेंगे, मतलब हम नहीं बोलेंगे ये fallacy है. साइंस में अगर आपको प्रूफ नहीं मिलेगा किसी चीज के लिए कि क्यों ये कंपाउंड ग्रीन हो जाता है in light, let's say, and you don't find a proof of the existence of chlorophyll, let's say, then you will make your theory accordingly. कि मतलब ये एक ऐसा substance है जिसमें chlorophyll की जरूरत नहीं है to make the compound green or something like that, you know. So science में भी ये fallacy को माना नहीं जाएगा. हम यूज करेंगे fallacy to get to a conclusion. Law में भी यूज करेंगे, मगर सिर्फ logic में हम ये यूज करें, हम ये पढ़ रहे हैं क्योंकि ये एक hindrance to proper rational argument बन सकती है. Okay, moving on. The appeal to inappropriate authority. Now, inappropriate authority would be आप और मैं बात करें and we will say that, you know, I'll ask you, why do you believe in, why do you believe that the education system here is good? And you will say, because my mom says so. Now, that is an appeal to inappropriate authority. That is authority. Magar abhi aapki mummy ki opinion is not, you know, sort of wanted. If we are arguing for the education system, our argument should be based on proof. कि यहाँ का एजुकेशन सिस्टम में ये खामियां हैं, ये खूबियां हैं. आप भी बोलेंगे कुछ, मैं भी बोलूंगी कुछ. मगर अगर आप आर्ग्यूमेंट में ये बोल रहे हैं कि भाई मेरी मम्मी कह रही है ये, या मेरे पीर साहब कह रहे हैं, या मेरे नेबर कह रहे हैं ये, that will be an appeal to inappropriate authority. ठीक है. Now again, ये एक fallacy है in logic, but we will use this, we do use this in our life, in many things, in religion, in science we use it. For example, आप और मैंने gravity as such school में पढ़ी है, मगर हमने वो वाली experiments तो नहीं की है जो गैलीलियो ने की है, जो आइंस्टाइन ने की है, जो न्यूटन ने की है. So we take them as authority without actually seeing it for ourselves. The forces of gravity or the forces of electromagnetism. We take them as authority, or we take people of religion as authority. कि जब हम कहते हैं भाई ये चीज नहीं करनी चाहिए, जवाल के वक्त नमाज नहीं पढ़नी चाहिए, क्यों? क्योंकि ये हदीस शरीफ में है. So we are using and we are appealing to authority. That is appropriate authority, मगर that is also authority. So these are things that find application in other fields, मगर logic में ये पढ़ा जाता है. The most blatant examples of misplaced appeals to authority appear in advertising testimonials. Best example इसका advertising है. Since Sachin Tendulkar is an authority in cricket, says that a particular cool drink is good, we should accept that drink as superb. This is fallacious. Now, this is a very good example of inappropriate authority. मैंने तो वैसे appropriate authority का use किया. Which is like, for example, Newton is an authority in science, or Hadith is an authority in religion. So those are appropriate authority, but many a times you do find some people using appeal to authority as a fallacy. यहाँ तो अच्छा लिखा है, यहाँ तो appeal to inappropriate authority है. तो for example, ads में ये सबसे best होता है. You see Sachin Tendulkar, you see Shah Rukh Khan promoting a drink. Now, why should we drink that thing that Shah Rukh Khan drinks? Why do we have to drink that? That is appeal to inappropriate authority. Shah Rukh Khan is not an authority on food and beverage. So obviously we should not take his opinion on anything and everything. Similarly, Sachin Tendulkar is also not an authority on food and beverage. So ये हुआ appeal to inappropriate authority. अच्छा, yeah, again, this is an appeal to pity जो है. We did that before. Appeal to emotion, appeal to pity में ही आता है. आपने पहले ये पढ़ा यहाँ ऊपर. Appeal to emotion. इसी में नीचे हमने एक variant इसका है appeal to pity. Appeal to pity. तो आप इसी के साथ भी ये लिख सकते हैं. Not a problem. Now let's go to the fallacies of. आपको ना induction पढ़नी है, fallacies of induction भी नहीं पढ़नी है, fallacies of presumption भी नहीं पढ़नी है. आपको straight जाना है इस document में नीचे, which is fallacies of ambiguity. ठीक है? Ambiguity. दो किस्म की fallacies आपको पढ़नी है. एक तो fallacies of relevance जो हमने पढ़ी, वो 7 हैं. और ये है fallacy of ambiguity. Now, what is ambiguity? Ambiguity is unclarity. Ambiguous उस चीज को बोलते हैं जो unclear हुआ. तो मैंने आपको बोला, I saw a bat there. So now you're thinking it's an unclear statement. What does ma'am mean? Bat तो cricket bat भी होता है. Can you hear me? Oh, wait, you can't talk. So you can write in the chat. Can you hear me? Write in the chat. Can you hear me right? Yes, ma'am. Good, good, good. Okay, so ambiguity is unclarity. मैंने कहा, I saw a bat. Now you're going to think, ma'am, what did she mean? Did she mean cricket bat? Or did she mean chimgadar, the bat that flies at night? So that is an ambiguous, I've given an ambiguous statement, जो unclear है. तो ambiguous हुआ unclear. So these fallacies arise as a result of the shift of meaning of words, phrases. Shift from the meanings that they have in the premises to different meanings ascribed to them in the conclusion. So it could be कि आप एक मीनिंग से प्रेमिस में लिख रहे हो एक वर्ड और दूसरे मीनिंग से आप कंक्लूजन में लिख रहे हो. इस मिस्टेक और इस फैलेसी को बोला जाएगा फिर फैलेसी ऑफ एम्बिग्यूटी. The deliberate use of such devices usually crude and readily detected, but at times the ambiguity may be obscure. मतलब फिर भी unclear होगा, साफ शफाफ नहीं होगा. The error accidental and the fallacy subtle. तो ये किन किस्म की है? ये 5 है. Fallacies of ambiguity are 5. Number 1 is equivocation. 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 ये है amphiboly. ये B नहीं है, ये P है. Amphiboly. Accent, composition, and division. Number 1, equivocation is the fallacy which consists in using words or phrases with 2 or more meanings deliberately or accidentally while formulating an argument. So you are deliberately using words or phrases जिसके 2 और ज़्यादा meanings है. जिस तरह मैंने अभी use किया. This is a bat. I saw a bat. This is a sentence that has an ambiguous meaning क्योंकि bat लफ्ज़ के 2 meanings हो सकते हैं. and deliberately, accidentally, while formulating an argument. Fallacies related to ambiguous terms discussed in categorical syllogism serve as examples in this context also. So the rule is, in a categorical syllogism, there should be 3 and only 3 terms, each used twice in the same sense. The violation of this rule is the simplest way of committing this fallacy. अच्छा, एक चीज है, आप लोगों ने अपने पेपर में, there are many people who did this mistake and I pointed it out, but I want to say it again, that in your internal exam, जब आपको पूछा गया भाई syllogism क्या है, different types of syllogisms, तो आपने different types of propositions use किया. The difference between a syllogism and a proposition is that syllogism होता है वो 3 forms, 3 propositions का बना हुआ एक argument, उसको बोलते हैं syllogism. Proposition एक ही sentence होती है. So proposition is a sentence that could be either true or false, whereas syllogism is a collection, mostly 3. 2 premises, major, minor premise, और फिर conclusion. 3 sentences या 3 propositions का बना हुआ एक argument, उसको syllogism बोलते हैं. अच्छा, अब categorical syllogism अगर आपको पूछा जाए क्या है, categorical syllogism में if, then नहीं होता है, either or नहीं होता है. So it's not conditional, it is not hypothetical, it is a categorical statement. मतलब हम बोलेंगे all poets are philosophers. फिर syllogism अगर बनाएंगे, all poets are philosophers, all philosophers are writers, therefore all poets are writers. ये हुआ आपका best example of a categorical syllogism. तो अब इसमें ये equivocation की fallacy कब होगी? जब हम अपनी premises में let's say कोई ऐसा word use करेंगे जो कि unclear होगा, उसके 2 meanings होंगे, और फिर conclusion में वो दूसरे तर्ज पे दूसरा meaning उसका use किया जाएगा, उसको हम equivocation बोलेंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अभी जैसे मैंने आपको बैट का एग्जाम्पल दिया, अब बैट इज 2 चीजें हो सकती है, तो मैं एक सिलोजिज्म बनाऊंगी, all bats are black, all bats are black, all black bats are, let's say hanging, therefore all bats are hanging. ऐसा मैंने एक obviously stupid सा syllogism बनाया, मगर as you can see it is not clear. What am I trying to say? Am I trying to say bat as in a cricket bat or a hockey bat? What? Or am I trying to talk about the bat in that comes out at night, the animal that comes out at night, right? So I can give you a specific example also जिसमें सीधा दिखाई देगा premises में एक meaning का use हुआ है, मगर इसमें क्या बोलते हैं इसको, conclusion में दूसरा meaning पे use हुआ है. Let me find an example and I'll give it to you. But try to understand equivocation बोला ही जाता है जब किसी चीज को equal बनाया जाए, equal मगर जो वो equal नहीं होगी, उसको equal बनाने की कोशिश की जाती है. So either हम क्या use करें, we are using a term that has 2 meanings. In one sense we use it in the premises, but conclusion में हम एक अलग meaning पे use करते हैं. ये आपको एक fallacy बन जाएगी. Fallacy of, क्या नाम था इसका? Fallacy of ये क्या बोलते हैं इसको, ambiguity, unclarity, ambiguity. Moving on, amphiboly, ये B नहीं है, ये P है. Amphiboly consists in misunderstanding due to the ambiguous grammatical construction of propositions. Many advertisements inadvertently commit this fallacy. Why go elsewhere to be cheated? Come to us. So, like for example, somebody would यहाँ अब क्या है, यहाँ ambiguous word नहीं है, यहाँ unclear या ambiguous grammar है. इसका grammatical construction of this proposition is ambiguous. इसमें क्या लिखा है, just for example, many people they have this, let's say law, कोई advocate firm होगी, तो उनका ad होगा कि why go anywhere else, why go elsewhere to be cheated? Come to us, मतलब हमारे पास आओ, हम तुमको चीट करेंगे. But actually that's not what they mean. What they mean is बाकी तुमको चीट करेंगे, हमारे पास आओ, हम नहीं चीट करेंगे. मगर जिस तरह ये ग्रामेटिकल इसका बनाया गया है सेंटेंस, that means as if कहीं और नहीं जाओ चीट होने के लिए, हमारे पास आओ, हम तुमको चीट करेंगे. So this is an example of a fallacy of ambiguity जहां grammar आपका ambiguous है. पहले equivocation में meaning of the word was ambiguous. यहाँ आपका grammatical construction of propositions is ambiguous. Consider another example. Suppose we are told that a number is equal to 3 times 5 plus 4. This is an example of amphiboly, since the answer might be either 3 into 4 into 5 plus 4, 19, या 19 तो हम किसी से भी ये, या 3 into 5 plus 4. ये मतलब एक मैथमेटिकल तरीके में भी कर सकते हैं, मगर बेस्ट आई थिंक इसका यही एग्जाम्पल है. Why go elsewhere to be cheated? Come to us. या maybe I can give you another example if I remember. I will do that. ना accent. अब accent क्या है? Accent if you know, हम कभी बात करते हैं तो हम कहते हैं इनका accent अलग है. जैसे गर्मी लुक तिमन आसान, तर्ज थोड़ा अलग. If you come from South Kashmir, you have a different way of speaking Kashmiri. North Kashmiris have a different. So उसको accent बोलते हैं. मगर accent as such है कि आप किस लफ्ज पर आप जोर डाल रहे हो, किस लफ्ज को आप हल्का प्रोनाउंस कर रहे हो. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, this fallacy of ambiguity occurs. It consists in lifting a word out of context, resulting in illegitimate emphasis upon it. For example, consider this sermon: "Thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor." If we emphasize unduly the word neighbor, then it would mean that you are free to bear false witness against others. On the other hand, if against is stressed, then it would mean that you may bear false witness for your neighbor, and so on. तो मतलब ये आपको अगर जैसे ये एक it's part of a sermon, it's part of, I think, from the Christian tradition. Thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor. अब अगर मैं यही सेंटेंस बोलूंगी और इसमें मैं नेबर को थोड़ा स्ट्रेस करूंगी, thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor. I stressed on neighbor. तो उसमें मीनिंग क्या आ रहा है? उसमें मीनिंग आ रहा है कि भाई नेबर के खिलाफ फॉल्स विटनेस नहीं देना, मगर बाकियों के खिलाफ दे सकते हैं. इफ आई स्ट्रेस ऑन नेबर. अगर मैं दूसरे वर्ड पे स्ट्रेस करूंगी, अगेंस्ट पे, कि thou shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, उसका मतलब क्या आ रहा है? इट मीन्स दैट यू मे बेयर फॉल्स विटनेस फॉर योर नेबर. मतलब उसको अपने नेबर के खिलाफ मत करो, उसको उसके फॉर जो है, यू कैन टेक अ फॉल्स विटनेस फॉर योर नेबर. You understand what I mean? So false witness, don't take false witness against your neighbor. अगर मैं against पे थोड़ा stress डालूंगी, उसमें meaning आ रहा है कि भाई इसके against नहीं जाना, मगर अगर तुम्हें झूठ बोलना पड़ेगा इसके फायदे के लिए, इसके लिए वो कर सकते हो. मगर वो मीनिंग है ही नहीं. असल मीनिंग है इस सर्मन का कि किसी के खिलाफ आपको कुछ गलत गवाही नहीं देनी. मगर अगर हम स्ट्रेस करें एक वर्ड को या दूसरे वर्ड को, इससे इसका मीनिंग ही डिस्टॉर्ट हो रहा है. तो इसको बोला जाता है एक्सेंट. इट इज वन ऑफ द fallacies of ambiguity. So the accent may be oral or may make use of italics or other devices in the language. जैसे italics जब किया जाता है तो उसमें emphasis आता है. Often much of what we mean depends on the accent of words in an argument. Propagandists deliberately distort statements to mislead audiences. Example, tabloid newspapers often use bold and large print to attract the reader's attention. Advertising relies on this device heavily. Consider this advertisement in a paper: "Take absolutely free the contest entry form." तो मतलब एक बड़ा बड़ा लिखा होगा absolutely free है, मगर क्या है? फॉर्म ही आपको मिल रहा है, आपको कुछ और मिल नहीं रहा है. और as you can see, most of these fallacies are used by ये जो advertising agencies. तो बड़ा बड़ा लिखा होगा 60% डिस्काउंट, मगर होता वहां है 30%, ये वो अप टू लिखा होता है छोटा. छोटा अप टू लिखा होता है मगर 60% बड़ा होता है. सो इनने एक्सेंट किस पे किया है, इनने एम्फोसाइज किया है 60% पे. तो दैट इज ऑल्सो टेकन एज अ फैलेसी ऑफ एम्बिग्यूटी. जब एम्फसिस और स्ट्रेस किसी चीज पे किया जाए बगैर जरूरत और उससे एक अनक्लैरिटी आए बात में, उसको एक्सेंट बोला जाता है. राइट. सो कॉम्पोजिशन, अनदर द फोर्थ काइंड ऑफ फैलेसी है fallacy of ambiguity, matlab unclarity. It occurs when what is true of the parts taken separately is said to be true of the whole taken collectively. For example, cotton cannot be strong enough to make clothes of, for look, I can break this cotton thread easily, quite easily. It is true that when each thread is taken separately, but not true when they are taken together. Another example is John Stuart Mill commits this fallacy when he argues that the general happiness is the greatest good because each individual desires happiness. So I don't know if you studied utilitarianism. तो उसमें जो ये John Stuart Mill, who is the father of utilitarianism, he says कि maximum happiness of the ये सबका, general happiness is the greatest good is the greatest happiness for all. So what he does is वो एक collective group के लिए बात करता है based on personal and individual experience. ऐसा हो सकता है, we can say that for an individual happiness, a particular individual desires happiness, but we cannot say that all individuals can desire the same kind of happiness that this particular individual desires. We can have different definitions of happiness, what it means to be happy. जैसे for example, एक फजूल से इंसान के लिए खुश होने का मतलब है बस कॉमेडी फिल्म देख ली और वो खुश हो गया. मगर एक डीप इंसान के लिए खुश होने का मतलब है कि भाई मेरी लाइफ बन गई, मुझे सक्सेस मिल गया. So it's happiness, the definition of happiness is different. We cannot say that everybody has the same definition. And just like सबसे easy example इसका composition fallacy का है कि हम बोलेंगे cotton cannot be strong enough to make clothes because ये देखो cotton का एक thread है, देख लो मैंने काट दिया. तो हमने एक चीज का लिया और हमने उससे पूरे एक generalized ये argument बना दी. So almost आप समझिए, it's almost like the generalization we find in induction. ठीक है. So composition आप उसी का बोलेंगे. Occurs when what is true of the parts taken separately is said to be true of the whole taken collectively. And number 5, the last one is division. It's the opposite of composition. What is true of the whole is taken to be true. Division, ये वाला. What is true of the whole is taken to be true of its parts. Here is an example. He must be a Catholic, for he is an Italian, and Italy is a Catholic country. True, Italy as a whole is Catholic, but the same need not be true of every Italian. Another example is given below. Some people argue that what is best for the nation must necessarily be advantageous for each citizen. तो बेसिकली ये डिवीजन जो है इज द ऑपोजिट ऑफ कॉम्पोजिशन. कॉम्पोजिशन में क्या हम करते हैं, कॉम्पोजिशन में हम एक को लेते हैं और उससे आर्ग्यूमेंट बनाते हैं सब की, और डिवीजन में हम सब की आर्ग्यूमेंट लेते हैं, कलेक्टिव लेते हैं और उससे आर्ग्यूमेंट बनाते हैं एक की. सो कॉम्पोजिशन इज मोर लाइक हाउ कैन यू से इंडक्शन, एंड डिवीजन इज मोर लाइक डिडक्शन. You can say that. But I say don't confuse yourself with that. That's a different argument. Here, composition आप बोलेंगे कि composed of, like a collective thing is composed of things. तो आप इसमें याद रखेंगे cotton की example. So I will pick up a thread of cotton and I'll say, hey, cotton cannot be used to make clothes because look, it's so delicate. I can break a cotton thread. I can cut it. So that is, you are making an argument for a collection of cotton threads that are used to make a garment by using one thread. एक चीज से आप collective चीजों पे judgment pass कर रहे हो. This is a fallacy of ambiguity. मगर डिवीजन वाली फैलेसी में क्या होता है, आप एक कलेक्टिव चीज को लेकर इंडिविजुअल के बारे में आर्ग्यू करते हो. तो कलेक्टिव चीज है, आप बोल रहे हो कि इटली में क्योंकि बहुत मेजॉरिटी कैथोलिक्स की है, तो ये जो जॉन मेरे सामने आया ये इटली का है, तो ये इटालियन है, तो ये कैथोलिक होगा. या जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल many a times जब हम बाहर जाते हैं हम बोलते हैं हम इंडिया से हैं, तो they say, oh, you must be Hindu, because most people think India is a majority population is Hindu. So that is a fallacy of division. That is a fallacy of division, that you are making an argument for an individual based on a collective, right? Okay, so almost we're done. Let me stop here. And then next class, inshallah, we'll move to the other topic. Inshallah. Take care. Bye-bye. We end this.